Cathy, good morning. In case it's difficult for us to actually find time to meet, I thought I'd make you a quick video. I often do this to explain stuff. I might have done this before for you. So let me go to your message. So you're interested in these two measures, and you've also asked me, it would be very helpful to be able to have the option to select the download data by user. So let me start off with that because that's very easy. So here we go to user. Now, whatever is displaying here on the left, this is what's going to come out in reports. So like if I change that to open, any reports are now going to be based on these 11 clients, right? If I go to closed, they're going to be based on 171 clients. And in the same way with a user, there's a lot of people who don't have any user associated with them. Most of these clients don't. Oh, there's one. Now, how you do it, how you reduce this list, if you just simply go to the user and you click on the user, it reduces the list straight away down to 39. And you can see there's this funnel for filtering put on up here. Removes the filter, goes back to 171. Click on the filter, it goes to 39. So I'm assuming that this is what you mean. So we'll work on the basis of these 39 clients for the moment. Okay. So now, export report. Very difficult, the export report. I mean, we struggled with it, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't have it switched on for anybody. I probably didn't realize you had it switched on, or we might have got a few before. Before we go to the export report, I want to talk about the session report because the session report runs much better. So if we go to the session report, now remember, this will be based on those 39 clients that we've reduced to that user list, right? Now, obviously, you've got to have, it's closed, so we're dealing with closed cases. You've got to have the time range right to be sure to capture. Now, I don't know how far back these people go, but I'm going to go back a couple of years there, like to the 1st of June 2019. And then what is repeat client data and separate clients? What this session report gives you is one session per row, not one client per row, one session per row. And we introduced this thing of separate clients simply to make a separation, because obviously if somebody has a lot of sessions, there'll be a lot of information in there. So I would recommend to choose that for the moment. It'll be easier to make sense of the report. Repeat client data. This is where in every row of those, one session per row, you want to repeat all of the user profile data. I won't switch that on for the moment, but that's the thing to do, is to play around with this and to get familiar with it. Now we come to your measure choice. So you're looking for PICC. Where on earth is that? Right, there's the SDQ P14 to 17 anyway. And the other one, PICC. Do I see that? The only one that looks like it, where are we? PICC. I don't know whether it's, no, that's IIC. ICCC. The only one I can think that looks anything like it is that one. But anyway, presumably it has to be one of these. And if the measure had components, then you could tick for a component score. But if you want all of the answers, right, so not just the total score, but all of the answers, you would tick here like that. And then you're ready to run that report, right? So we'll go run. And this is a great report because it downloads really, really fast. Okay, so I'm going to just download that report, and I'll just stop the share and bring it up on the where is that report gone now? Excuse me, muttering to myself. It must be this one. Right. Let me get back to my shared screen. Zoom, shared screen, and it's this one I think we need. Okay, so here's the report open. So session report on the 13th of June for bill at 8:05. And now, so the separation there, that's, so those first three are concerning that one client, 22. So this is all anonymized, you see. Client 22, that's the computer ID 22, which as a super user, you'll be able to see on the left side of the client screen. Assigned user, if you're number 6, that'll be yourself. And then as we go along, you can see all the star A star is just missing data. And then we come over here, and what you've got over here is the SDQ 4 to 17. So that must be, these must be your scores of that. That'll make sense to you. And there's probably a total there at the end. And I don't know what the other stuff is that you've got there. But basically, that's how the report downloads anyway. And so that's giving you one row per client. It'd be easier probably to see this on just one particular client, but what I don't understand is why there's no headings for the SDQ. Not sure what you've got going on there, but anyway, that's that. So let's stop the share and go back to, I'll just go back to Pragmatic Tracker again. Okay, so with the export report, the trouble with the export report is that it's an incredibly resource intensive report. So we've got it constructed in the same way here. And I would advise you, if you do try with the export report, to do XML. And we'll click run again. It would be better really if I had a particular client that I knew you wanted to do the extraction on. Now, when you put this on, it'll take ages, so do it later in the day or something like that, because the trouble with the export report is that it has to search over and over and over and over again through the database to build the report. And it just takes, it's not actually taking that long to get going here now. So maybe it will get going, we'll see. But when you get this report, what you have to do is you can't just, it's an XML report, and you can't just double click on it to open it. You've got to go open with, you've got to identify it on your desktop, download it to your desktop. Oh, here we go. Right. So download. So there's downloaded, and stop that share. And I'll just share this whole screen over here, probably was the best thing to do. Right, let me find that that downloaded report. There it is now. So what I'm going to do is identify that report as an XML in my downloads folder, and then I'm going to right click and go open with Microsoft Excel. Now, here's the report. And obviously all of the A star, the star A star is all missing data. But what you've got here you've got the data by clients, by sessions, and by that measure and by the other measure, right? So if you've captured scores, so there, this is probably more what you want. Because now what you've got is you've got all those scores across the top, right? So M1 is the first time a measure was administered, M2 the second time, etc., etc. I think you see you don't have any M2, so you've just got M1, right? Now, if you want to get the results from this ICCC and the STQ all on one sheet, if you look at the clients here, right, you've got client 22 down to 165. Now, if I go over here, it's also, they all match, right? So what you can do is you can copy the information from this one, right? So you would have to identify the top cell and then going down here to the bottom cell. Let's go out as far as there's data. There's nothing beyond there. So if I go, if I select everything from there, like that, and copy that, I can go back to the other sheet, go to the very end, and then I can paste that in there. And that information will then all match up. So that look, client 165, if I go back all the way over here, it's client 165 as well, okay? So that's the way you get that to work. What I would suggest you do is, let me just go back and share here again. I'm sorry this is a bit haphazard, but I'm just trying to get you something to help you rather than trying to meet up because it's going to be difficult. Okay, so what I would recommend you do is if you can identify one particular case that you know is a good example where you've got all of the information you need. Let's say that one case was this client ID 21. I'll put in 21 in there. Okay, that ended up being 3 clients. You could put in 3-AT-BO. 3-AT-BO. Now we've got that one case, right? And then run the report on just one case. And then you'll see that you're getting, you'll see the way the data is coming out so you can make sense of it. Okay, I hope that wasn't too garbled, but okay, so let's take off that filter again and just review for a second. Okay, so look, in total you have 11 open cases. I presume you're going to be looking at closed cases, which is you've got 171 closed cases. You can filter by user by just clicking on that username. That reduces the list down to 39, and then your reports will be based on that. You should be able to get everything you need out of a session report, but make sure that you put in your date ranges correctly. And I would advise you to separate the clients out so you can see what you want, and then choose the measures. I'm not sure if I had the right ones chosen here for you or not. Choose the measures you want, and answers simply means you get all of the individual responses to each item. And that should give you what you want. But again, I would advise you, back here, start off with just one client, right? So 3-AT-BO, put in the search and reduce it down there, because it'll just be easier for you to understand what you're getting. Now, the other way to do the report, which was probably what you want, is the export report. Difficult report, takes ages to build. Attended only means, that it must be a session that was ticked as being attended. Now, we talked about that before, didn't we? And must have data means there must be some data in there. Again, make sure your date ranges are right. Choose your measures. And I would advise you to always run it as an XML. The running it as a CSV is just not very successful. The advantage of an XML is that it's a quicker report to build. The disadvantage is that you then have to copy and paste from one sheet to another. When you get an XML download, you can't just double click it to open it. You've got to go find it wherever you have it in your downloads folder, right click on it, open with, and then you open with Excel, and then it will open up and give you tabs down the bottom. And you can take the information from one tab and copy it into the other one. Okay, I hope that's helpful. A bit garbled, but there we go. Thank you.